Hello, everybody. It is Alex here, back again from The Comic Central, and today we are going to be doing a new sort of video. I know I did a video like this around a month ago, but I needed to talk about some more stuff, so let's just jump into it. And I sort of might be able to see here, I have my mic placement so professionally done. It's just under two deluxe editions. I have like Last Round and Invincible, the Ultimate Collection Volume 1 under it. It's not anything crazy, but it gets this closer to my mouth. So the audio should hopefully be better, and I've been seeing comments about it being inconsistent, which I apologize about, but hopefully it's getting a bit better. So, yeah. So, we have many things to talk about, like the podcast, new series, and other stuff that's going to be on the channel that I'm really interested in talking about, and some of these will be here soon. Some of them will take a long time for you to see. Yeah. Some of it will take you a long time to see. Long time. So what is going to take a long time for you to see? Well, after already making my... Yeah, I have to admit, it's going to take a long time for you to see this. I said maybe it'll be here by February, guys. Maybe March. I haven't started development on it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just how it is. I have not started to develop on the animated series retrospective. I wish I would have, but I just haven't. So, yeah. It's just a hard thing to scale, but I just haven't started developing on it. I've been busy with the podcast, and I'm just learning how to edit since I've looked at videos and stuff. But I'm confused on how to edit again because I'm young, you know. I'm just young. I'm in middle school. I don't understand editing softwares or anything. Apparently, my brother does, but he's really busy with college. It's been some chaos, and I don't know if I fully mentioned this in a video, but I have my new chair. Look at this. It's comfortable, it's big, so you can't see some of my collection, but it's way better than pure wood, which is still over there in the corner of shame of my weirdly shaped room. So that and the shelf of shame. I guess I have to show the shelf of shame. Look at that. Like, you can see this here now. Look at that. That's what happens. I had to move my shelf because my brother wanted it. We're ordering a new one. It's taken so long for them to actually be in stock, so now they are in stock with my shelf. So that's ordered, and it'll be here in 5 days. But look at that pile. It's just stacked with all of my trades. It's not cool, not fun. Like, I don't like it. And, yeah. Good. Have, like, this guide thing. It'll include going over films and stuff. The goal is to have guests on it. I don't know how major they'll be compared to being like my brother and my brother's friends, or if it'll be like Jake Goliker on it. I'm probably gonna talk to him, possibly about him. He doesn't have to fully be on it. I'm totally fine if he's not. But he is a big fan of Mask of the Phantasm. It would be interesting to get many viewpoints. That's one thing that I want this series to be. It's a collaborative project among the comic book community, as this is a very loved show because of the great things that there are. And there's so many like interesting things in here, and there's extras, which I love to see. So I can like look at extras and a lot of other information where I can see what's happening, and just nice to see. There's the 2 films again, like I was mentioning, Mask of the Phantasm and Sub-Zero. But again, it's a long thing because I'm needing to summarize what is 35 hours of crime. Yeah, that is just so much material. That's like a day and a half of just watching. But when I mean I haven't started production, I mean I haven't started producing the videos on this series. It's just because of what I've been doing, which is watching the episodes and taking some decent notes on it, where I can just comment on it and say my opinions, and it's just a lot, you know? It's really just a lot, so I'm figuring that out. The next series that I need to talk about, I guess there's sort of three that I need to talk about. The next one I'm going to talk about is, I don't have a full name for it, and it's sort of just getting into comic series. I know that I've sort of, to an extent, done this with like a guide of how to get in. It's not the best video, and I was sort of learning how to do YouTube, and that was a part to my comic books for new readers list, which was a really fun video. I think I enjoy it, but I hadn't fully like deep dived into it, and I've like tried to pre-record it before, and it didn't turn out well. So I think that video will be out pretty soon. Is the first episode of that. It's just that tomorrow today I might double upload. I don't fully know my release schedule, but the next video is going to be going over the first 2 episodes of Born Again, and then I'll go more in depth on the podcast, the Central Comics podcast, which I do with my brother and some special guests like Jake from The Brave and the Boys and some of his friends like Gabe. So for now, it is only on Spotify. As of recording, again, it is only on Spotify, but I'm converting the episodes into YouTube as its own thing. So, yeah. That's that. So, cool. Got that underway. It's sorted. It's ready. And it's done. So that's the other series where it'll just be breaking down and being helpful in learning how to do that stuff. And then the next series, which it's going to take a long time, I feel like, to get this out. And that's a retrospective series on comic books. On specific comic books, specific runs. My idea originally was Claremont's X-Men, but I think I'm going to not do that. And I'll go for something that, I don't know, I understand more, because I enjoy Claremont's X-Men. But what I might do is go for more like something like that. So, yeah, I'm not saying it, but something like that. It might be a thing that I go over, because it's just amazing. And of course it has that TV show by 3 seasons with a great voice cast, which includes the Joker in this as art, if you didn't know. So, it's little fact for you, but that's sort of it with that. I don't fully know, but it'll be retrospectives on comic series, which I'm really interested in. And then the final series, this is my brother's pitch idea, and I really like this idea. This series, I want to get out as fast as possible. And this is a series that will especially be insightful with some of the new shows and movies that we've been getting with the DCU. And that is going over, my brother specifically said Batman. I think we'll do just broad and general villains, but specifically Batman is what he said. And going over their history, because I mentioned this to my brother. I mentioned this to a lot of people now. I think it's a very intriguing idea to think about. And that is, Batman's rogues gallery is nowhere near some of the level of some characters like not the Flash, but like Spider-Man, because they're not fully defined as villains anymore. Like, ever since like around 2011 with Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti's run, what has sort of happened there is just she's more of an anti-hero defining that. And the same thing can be said around Poison Ivy, because she's like trying to help plants and all that. And that can also be said with Two-Face now, where he needs to fight both sides of him and his more disruptive side, but he leans on the line of good, which I've heard has been touched on in the new Two-Face, which I've heard is spectacular. I will buy it, but some of these characters recently have just been formed and shaped through different runs, like what I was saying with Poison Ivy, with G. Willow Wilson's run, the new Two-Face run, or like All-Star Batman. Not and Robin, just All-Star Batman by Scott Snyder transforms Two-Face to an idea in that extent. There's what I was saying with Harley and Amanda Conner, Jimmy Palmiotti, and ever since Batman the Animated Series, Mr. Freeze was never truly a villain. You know, there are still some characters that are definitely villains. Like, oh yeah, the Joker is definitely a villain. Or Killer Croc, Scarecrow. Those are still villains. But even more, like Catwoman, she has not been a villain for a long time, defying it. Like, it's just a very interesting thing, and that's what my brother and I are deciding to touch on in these videos, going over origins, how they've been adapted in media, and how they've changed over time as characters. A lot of these villains are, like, long-running, characters in the Batman title, which is interesting to see. It's like a very long thing of Batman was very much established with his villains pretty recently, or not pretty recently, but like as soon as he started, like a good amount of his villains showed up early, sort of similar to Spider-Man, and how around the first 25 issues, you got introduced to all of his main big bads, other than like Venom, Carnage, and Hobgoblin. But other than that, everyone was there for Spider-Man. But that's what we're talking about, is specifically those and some other characters. I think down the line will be a thing that I'm wanting to do more. I don't fully know what my brother thinks about this. He'll probably talk some more on his videos, but he's busy with college stuff, so sadly he hasn't been in as many videos, but this will be his first sort of main lead on the channel, is for this series, which I really like the idea of. But again, other characters that we're thinking about looking at is the Reverse Flash and Captain Cold, but also some other interesting characters like Harry Osborn's Green Goblin, which is a distinction. But yeah, that's that series. And now we need to go over some subscriber specials. I don't think I stated this in my video a month ago, but I have a subscriber goal. And if I did, I've changed it. I specifically know my goal in my head, which I won't say because then it won't happen, is my opinion. Bit superstitious, I know, but that's just how it's going to go. So, looking at that, I'm thinking, just in general, I'm just thinking, I'm going to want to do something to celebrate. If I hit it, if I don't hit it, I'm going to do a little bit of a punishment, but it'll still be content for you guys, because that's what I want. I just love seeing all y'all happy in the comments on, like, my Spider-Man video. It was amazing. I loved seeing opinions and stuff talked and floated around. It was such an amazing time responding to all your comments. A lot of you were big fans of Ultimate Spider-Man, which I love to hear about. So, that's sort of that with that video. So I'm loving the engagement and stuff, and you fans are just amazing, and I love seeing all you there for every video. It's just so fun. So I'm wanting to do this as just a formulated content machine. And that is, if I hit my subscriber goal by the end of the year, then I'm going to be doing a live stream where I have to play the complete, absolute entirety of PS4 Spider-Man. Remastered. So I guess it's technically PS5. But the original Spider-Man game, not Spider-Man 2, not Miles Morales, the sort of, I guess, second longest one in that series of the Insomniac Spider-Man games. But that game, I will do the entire thing in one day. Now, of course, for that stream, I am going to need breaks, because 12 hours of me just staring at a screen playing a game is not very healthy for me. But I will try to sort of split it up into 3 streams or so. Like 3 4-hour streams or something. Or 4 3-hour streams or something. Split it up sort of during the day where I can eat stuff like lunch and breakfast. And like maybe have some sleep, because like I can't fully comprehend that. But also, if I don't hit the goal before the year's over, this specifically, before the year is over, then I have to do a stream where I need to watch Madam Web, Morbius, and Kraven the Hunter. Those 3 Spider-Man films. Not even the actors like those films, I don't think. Okay, they make jokes about them. They're so bad. I have to watch all those. People, if you're watching, please subscribe. I don't want to watch Morbius, okay? I don't want to watch Morbius. Got a bit too far there. I'm actually, there's actually a bit of tears in my eyes. But please subscribe, because I do not want to watch Morbius. It's just a thing that I don't want to do, because I don't like Morbius. Simple as that. I just don't want to watch Morbius. Hope all of you understand that. I don't want to watch a absolute failure with the worst Joker. So, yeah. I'd feel damaged if I had to watch that movie. So, yeah, that's that for the punishment. But it might be even more severe if the subscriber goal is far off of being hit. If it's farther off than I think, then it'll be a worse punishment. I'm gonna make sure all of you know this. If you don't subscribe and it's a bad enough difference, I have to watch more than that. Do you understand me, people? Do you understand me? I will make it worse on myself if you don't subscribe. I don't want to be punished from watching this stuff, guys. I would not want to watch that. But there will be incentives if I do get more than my goal by a good amount. Like if I get 100 subs over my goal, then I'll probably do another incentive. Same thing with 100 more. So that's a thing there. So, yeah. And then let's just go on to the next segment for the specials. Okay, so this is sort of the last part before we wrap up for the specials. And then with the specials, I'm going to be doing... So right now, we are at 238 subscribers. As of recording it might be higher, it might be lower from when you're watching this. But if... I definitely can do this on video. I've gained 40 or 50 subscribers on a video before. If I can just gain 12 subscribers, you're getting the Q&A, guys. How long will that Q&A take for you to get? I don't fully know. But you'll get the Q&A as soon as possible if you hit that goal. But you need to hit the goal of 250 subscribers. And that special will release. And then... sadly, since I don't have my shelf there, the collection tour will be at 300 subscribers. I know that I teased that I was going to do it at the start of the year, but then there was chaos, and then I needed equipment for it, and then I got the equipment, and then I needed the new shelf, and then the shelf took a while, and then it's just I was doing other content and was busy with the podcast, and all that happened. So, that's there with the specials. Those are the only 2 that I've planned now is for 250 and 300, which would just be truly amazing things to see. And with that being said, I'm going to give some more things about the podcast. So the podcast, right now, it is only on Spotify at the Central Comics Podcast, which again is the podcast that my brother and I share, where we sometimes have special guests on. But for the most, I think... well, for 50% of it so far, out of the 4 episodes, it has been just my brother and I talking about stuff like the Fantastic Four and Daredevil trailers, which we are really excited for, and the show. I'll give my opinions. I just watched the 2nd episode before recording this, but that's sort of what we've been touching on, and it's very exciting to see. So that's my sort of statement on the podcast, where it'll soon be on YouTube, which I'm excited for. So the podcast is going to be on YouTube eventually, but not yet. So that, I think, is my closing thoughts. Like I was saying, please subscribe and like and comment to push the video in the algorithm, and so I can do the Q&A. You can follow my podcast, which should soon be on YouTube, and is now on Spotify at the Central Comics Podcast. And until next time, goodbye.